Hey guys, what's going on? It's been a little while. Just wanted to pop back on here really fast because there was a whole lot of things coming from Damon that I kind of wanted to talk about on here. He said a few interesting things in a recent interview here that I wanted to speak about, dealing with pretty much all of his very important projects, I guess, with Gorillaz and Blur and his new solo record, which I have not been able to talk about on here yet, so I'm going to kind of use this video to do that. So yeah, Damon was talking with Spin, I believe. Said that he was promoting a little bit on the Nearer the Fountain, the More Pure the Stream Flows, his sequel to Everyday Robots. I do have a copy of it pre-ordered, of course. Looking forward to it. I have not found the music from this particular solo album to be quite as engaging as Everyday Robots. I find it to be a little bit more of a ambient, really kind of a pretty low-key record, even more low-key than Everyday Robots, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. I think it's cool that Damon's kind of adding into his repertoire of the kind of albums that he produces or whatever, and I think it's cool that he's not doing the same thing twice, I guess, with his next solo release. So I'm really happy about that, personally, and I know some of the songs will probably grow on me as time goes on, for sure. So I had to get a copy of it, at least a CD copy. So I am looking forward to that. There's some other interesting things in this article, though, that I wanted to talk about, because he has posted some pictures that he was in studio with some artists for new Gorillaz music. At first I thought it was going to be, we're all anticipating Song Machine Season 2. Going to be the next project here, but judging from this article about the kinds of work that he's doing with the new Gorillaz album, though, it sounds like that might not be the case. Because like he mentioned that they're going back to the spirit of the first album, which I thought was really interesting, because the artist he was working with was a dub reggae artist, Andy Horace or something. I can't remember his name, that was in studio with him. But he's a reggae singer who was in studio for Gorillaz, and he said that he's also been working with like steel drums. He mentioned that instrument exactly in the interview, and I also thought that was really interesting. He said that he's completed the solo LP in February of this year, and since then he's been working on a carnival-themed music with Gorillaz with a lot of people from West London. He says they're going back to the spirit of the first album, the debut Gorillaz album, and it's really exciting, and we've been really enjoying it. It's a nice counterbalance after the Nearer the Fountain, really. Definitely needed a dose of something else after he finished that record. Steel pan drums and Casio MT40s were always going to be a good cure. I thought that was really, really interesting. So I'm wondering if they're kind of backpedaling on the Song Machine thing now. From the sound of this, it sounds like they're going more a traditional album release. I don't know if Song Machine Season 2 might be reserved for tracks that don't really fit together, since Song Machine is technically more of a compilation kind of thing than it is an actual album. Even though it is an album, it's a weird thing. It's a collection of singles, almost, Song Machine. And I don't know, I'm really interested in the whole spirit of the first record thing. I think it's really exciting that Gorillaz are going to be doing more of a dub reggae kind of album again, coming up here next, hopefully released sometime early next year. I can't imagine that this album would come out before Damon releases his second solo LP in November. That wouldn't make much sense to me. I think it's really exciting what he's saying here. Carnival-themed music with Gorillaz too, adding into that whole reggae dub thing. I'm not really sure what that could mean, but it sounds really eclectic. It sounds really fun. It sounds really kind of Sgt. Peppery from the Beatles kind of feel or whatever. I mean, he says that it makes me think of the song being for the benefit of Mr. Kite from Sgt. Pepper's. He says it's carnival-themed music, and it just sounds like it's going to be really eclectic. It sounds like it's going to be really musically dense. It's hard for me to describe what I'm trying to say. I think you get it. I think it's going to be really interesting, though. And the whole spirit of the first record thing, I'm totally down for that. you know, if it's going to go back to having those kind of like a traditional kind of like dub reggae beats, if we get another single that's kind of like in the same vein of like Clint Eastwood or something like that, I think that would be really cool. I don't know, it sounds more like a traditional album release to me from the way he's talking about it. So who knows, maybe Song Machine Season 2 might just have to come at a later date. I'm not sure. It's also interesting, the carnival theme Gorillaz music. I wonder if that has any connection to maybe even a sequel to Plastic Beach. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, like, why can't we just get C-sides? Why can't we get them Plastic Beach B-sides, Damon? Where the hell are my C-sides? That's what they should call that album. I swear to God. I know it makes more sense to call it P-sides, but they should call it C-sides. I think that's ingenious. He also said that he's had a few conversations with Dave Rowntree from Blur about a possible reunion shows and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I think it's just a really interesting time here. I think he's doing some really, really cool stuff. The man never fucking sleeps. I just don't get it. It seems like he's always doing something. He's like, I don't get it. The man's a genius. The man's a musical genius, and I just don't get how he has the time of day to just jump from one thing and immediately jump into the next. I mean, it's freaking crazy. So anyway, tell me what you guys think about this this bit of Gorillaz spill from Damon here about what kind of music this might sound like, because it sounds really interesting to me, and it does sound more like a traditional album release. It doesn't sound like Song Machine Season 2. I don't think that's what they're doing anymore. Honestly, I'm kind of more for that, because, I mean, I love Song Machine, and I think the material we got from Song Machine has been some of the most quality material that we've gotten from Gorillaz in a really long time. I'm not saying that I hated Humans, and I'm not saying I hated the Now Now. I really enjoyed both of those albums. You can watch my ranking video of all the Gorillaz albums that I posted a few years ago and see that I'm a huge fan of Humans. More so than most fans. But I still think that the real instrumentation that went into the Song Machine tracks was a nice change of pace. And if they're going back to more of a reggae, dub-inspired thing for this record, I don't know. I just think that's really interesting, especially when you link it up to the whole remaster of the first album that's supposedly still coming out in the fall of this year. I don't know, it just makes me really excited for the end of this year when it comes to Gorillaz stuff, because I hope that we get a little bit more information about what this new album's going to sound like, and I'm really looking forward to the reissue of the debut album. We will be unboxing probably the best version that they end up selling of it on this channel, so if you guys want to see that, definitely subscribe. Yeah, I'm really looking for... I wish they would just announce the fucking pre-orders for that remaster of the debut album. I want the big-ass box set with all of the fucking B-sides and all of the studio chatter and all of the shit. I hope they go the full route of doing like a whole like Beatles Abbey Road box set thing like they've been doing for the 50th anniversary re-releases. I hope they kind of go that route with it, because I would like to hear some studio chatter from Damon that was recorded way back in like 2000, 2001-ish. I think that would be really neat. Be like a little extra for the Bananas documentary. I don't know, I would like to hear like a few makings of the songs that were on the first album, a little bit more studio time. Of course, I'm interested in B-sides from the era that aren't on G-sides or whatever. So I don't know. I just hope I hope the pre-orders for that come out really soon, because we're getting close into the second half of the year now. So hopefully that'll come soon. So yeah, tell me what you think of this new Gorillaz news here, because I think it sounds really fun and I think it sounds really exciting. So I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Mr. Mooney 1235 out.